Here we go.
All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Sid & Cal Studios. Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis ready to break you off some MMA news and, of course, look back at the fights that we had last weekend and preview the fights that we have tomorrow night.
So many fights.
We got fights tonight.
Fights tonight, tomorrow.
There's fights tonight?
Yeah, Invicta.
Oh, shit. And then
Yes.
Bellator and UFC
You guys
tomorrow.
sound like you're getting fight fatigue.
Fight fatigue.
No such thing, my friend. Not around here.
More
Not on
MMA
our
is
watch.
good MMA.
We got,
Not on our
we got
watch.
fight Viagra.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what we got.
None of you guys got gag orders either.
No,
Yeah.
there's no
Plus,
gag orders here.
I've been doubling up on the proposterone.
Yeah, proposterone and Viagra is what we got.
And paposterone, too, for my papasta.
Pasta.
Papasta. And marinara.
Mr.
Pasta.
52-inch chest over here.
He's a pastafarian.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
At my best, I had a 42-inch chest. That makes me very sad.
That's all right.
Now
I had a 42-inch chest when I was born. I broke my mom's pelvic.
I have a negative chest right now. All right, so we're going to
Enough about us.
Enough about us. Jumping into it right now with MyMMAnews.com. Invicta FC signs 15 women.
Yeah, signed 2, in fact, that came from the UFC. Pearl Gonzalez. I didn't know she was doing that bad.
I didn't think so either. I mean,
Pearl Gonzalez and Sarah Kaufman are now
So,
Invicta.
but if they're signed with Invicta, that means they can still fight in the UFC, right?
Kinda.
Kinda.
I mean, they do share talent.
that's what we were discussing that earlier before you got here. That I don't know if this means that they're out or they're in. If Julie Kedzi's having problems
out.
filling weight classes,
Man, wow.
You think?
Man.
Oh, man, I'm out.
Yeah, it's a Ross Perot thing. Yeah, I got it. I think they can fight in both. I bet you they still have their UFC contracts, and they're also signed with Invicta so they can have more fights. Because
Okay.
I bet their problem with like Sarah Kaufman and Pearl Gonzalez is maybe they weren't getting as many fights as they wanted. They got to put food on the table.
I
So
can understand
are they
that,
also
yeah.
going to share the 125ers that Dana said that he's having problem finding?
Yes.
So could this be
Pretty much everybody from the show will get to all that, just filled his rankings, and then he's like, and we got nobody else. Even though there's multiple fighters in the 135
You get a fight
and 115 pounds.
get
They're
a
like,
fight.
I want to go up or I want to go down. You know what I mean? You got fighters.
Yeah.
But he's like, nope, we got
Nope.
nobody.
Nope, he just gave everybody on the show a contract instead.
So pretty much. Anderson Silva is back at it again with more talks that he wants to fight Roy Jones Jr.
Okay.
Roy Jones Jr. now saying that he still wants to have that fight as well. He said this fight should have happened a long time
It
ago.
should have happened a long time ago.
When we were at both at the pinnacle of our careers.
That's exactly what should have happened. Now it's fucking celebrity deathmatch.
Yeah.
But he still wants to fight me, and I still want to fight him. Didn't know this. Anderson Silva has 14 professional boxing matches.
Did he fight at the same time Conor fought when he was a kid?
Conor was 7.
And then my favorite part about it is that he says, you know what? Even if he's on steroids, I don't care. He can take all the steroids he wants.
Don't say that. It won't hold up in court later.
He says we're gonna.
we've
We're
learned
gonna.
anything,
Me and
don't
Anderson
make
are gonna
that
finish
comment.
this.
Yeah,
So
you can't sue after that.
if the UFC would go ahead and let him free, I don't care about any PEDs. He can have all the PEDs he wants because that's my man. I don't believe he's taking PEDs, and I don't think he would take them against me anyway. Even
Please
if
God say he didn't say it was
man.
okay if he had a weapon.
Don't
even if he
don't
had
ever
PEDs
trust your
in
friends in a fight.
in his system, I don't care. Anderson takes.
Come on, man. We said no nut shots. Damn.
I would never
to me,
fight anybody
these
under
were
those
like
rules.
pretty much one of the first 2 guys at the top of their careers that said they wanted to cross over sport for MMA and boxing. How do you think this? Do you think this is actually going to happen?
No, unless it happens in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see it happening here.
I think if the two of them really want to get it done, it will happen just under whose flag.
It's not
going
going to happen in the States. It's not a draw anymore. It was a draw when the talks originally started. It was absolutely a draw. Roy Jones Jr. and Anderson
What do
Silva.
you
I don't know what
mean?
the height difference is.
I'm just saying. What is that? Catch me outside, girl. I mean,
Catch
you
Me
could have
Outside.
sold that fight. You could sell just about any fight in the U.S.
I don't know if you could sell Roy Jones and Anderson Silva as a top billing fight, though.
I don't know about top billing, but I mean, I think it'd go on something.
I think you could do it at a mall fight on like a Black Friday. You know?
That's how the doors open. As soon as one of them goes down, boom, doors are open.
And because we can't have an entire week without Conor McGregor being in the news of some sort, we have 2 stories today. The first one being that Conor McGregor was at I believe it was a fashion award. Yeah, the British Fashion Awards in London with British singer Rita Ora.
Yeah.
She tweeted this picture where she says that it's date night with Conor McGregor, which then everyone called her a whore and a slut and a slag, because apparently that's what whore slut means
the UK thing, yeah.
in the UK. Because obviously we know Conor McGregor has a girlfriend with his baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're still not
Devlin.
married?
No.
D. Devlin? They're still
Nope.
not married?
Still not married.
Yeah, and then
Swoop in,
Didn't
beast.
Rita Ora post pictures later with her actual date though?
I don't know.
Louis Vuitton?
I thought I read that somewhere.
Even Artem Labov jumped in and said, "Sorry, Rita, burgers are nice, but not when the man has a steak at home," and then
Hey.
quickly deleted it.
Well, because he was referring to himself.
Oh.
Because he is McGregor's tube steak at home.
Well, here's the thing though, is that yeah, burgers are nice, but when you got steak at home, but sometimes you just want a burger.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and
I hear
Artem,
that.
sometimes you want to win. I mean,
Sometimes you
could
want a
win,
taco.
That would be great.
And then later there was another video that was found of Conor McGregor at a club where he's singing Biggie with his bunch of his buddies, and
Wait
he's
a
saying,
minute.
and he's saying,
Sometimes
Rita,
you want steak.
Rita.
He says he says
Rita Ora.
He says Rita
Where's she
Ora.
at? Where's she at?
And then he pats his heart, and then he
everyone's like-
says D. Devlin after that.
Yeah, but they cut that.
Did they cut that?
Yeah.
But still, I don't understand why he said Rita Ora before he said his woman's name. Like he says Rita Ora, then pats his heart, and then he goes, "Oh shit, yeah." And D. Devlin, yeah, that's right. I have a girlfriend at home. Completely forgot all these adios motherfuckers.
Well, what happened to his Instagram girlfriend that's pregnant?
True.
What about her? Where's she fit in all this?
The Clintons got her.
Hillary?
Hillary got her.
And then the last little bit of obviously going a little bit more into the boxing is that according to Sky Sports,
The first Zuffa boxing match is going to be
Conor McGregor against Pacquiao.
April 2018.
This is a real thing now?
Well, we don't really know if this is a real thing. Pacquiao, when they asked him, they said, you know, how do you feel about obviously fighting in April against Conor McGregor? He says, if we can negotiate it, I have no problem.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I like money.
I like
you
money, yeah.
I like
and then they
money.
said, well, has there been any communication with McGregor's camp or representatives? And he says, well, initially, yeah. But we have yet to have any follow-up conversations. Do you see this actually happening?
Yes.
Fuck, now why not? If this does happen, that's where you put Anderson Silva and Roy Jones Jr.
All right, on the undercard.
Put 'em
Oh,
on
I'm
that.
sorry. I thought you meant could I picture it? I could picture it. I don't know about it.
There's a lot of
actually
things I can
happening.
picture.
Yeah.
But Pacquiao did stress that first
Did you
of all,
say just what did you say?
what's it?
But Pacquiao.
But Pacquiao.
But Pacquiao.
But Pacquiao.
But Becky, ow.
But Pacquiao.
Speaking of picturing it or anything,
He stresses at first, you know, I have
pink sock.
the Senate things that I have to deal with first before this is going to be anything. Depends on who they can finalize as my opponent. It doesn't have to be McGregor. There's several opponents being considered.
no, let's do McGregor and Pacquiao. Let's put Roy Jones and Silva on the undercard and call it a fucking day. You can put it on, what, Golden Boy?
Would you
Golden
watch
Boy?
it?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
I want Anthony Johnson to fight Artem Lobov.
That's such a big difference.
And wait. And
I don't care.
Isn't Anderson Silva
That needs
like a
to be
foot taller than Roy Jones
that
Jr.
needs to be
though?
handled.
Yeah.
That needs to be handled.
That needs to be
Yeah,
handled.
Lobov is pissing me off. It's like it's like the biggest nobody that you can't stop seeing. You can't even put like your thumb over
It's
him
like,
anymore. And just,
wait. So it's like, who's that fucking dude the GSP used to bring on every fight card with him with the funky hair? And he got knocked out every fucking time.
Ben Askren?
No, you know who I'm talking about. He'd show up with purple or pink hair or green hair, and he'd show up to fight because he was George St. Pierre's training buddy, and he would get knocked the fuck out.
Somebody
every
watching the
time.
show, you're gonna have to.
I don't
You have
know.
to chime in on that.
Oh God.
The only person I could think of that would show up all the time was George Gurgel because he was
No.
Rich Franklin's jiu-jitsu coach, and he always got messed up.
We're talking like 2005, 2006, 2007. Ah, God, I
to
can't
go back
remember
and
his
look.
name. But he was George St. Pierre's boy, and he would show up and get knocked the fuck out in every fight. That's what Artem Lobov is.
Yeah, it's like Kato Kalin during the.
Yes, he's Kato Kalin. And
like-
that's who this guy was in the UFC.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now.
It's like nobody knew who Kato Kalin was until something happened at OJ's house, and then just like, dude, get
This
this,
guy
fucker
has
off
a
the
TV
screen.
career.
and a book? What the shit?
Cowboy Cerrone recently had an interview where he said that he's going to go back down to 155. He's going to be more focused. He said, I'm there for 5 years. He's also going to reduce his schedule. He said, I'm going back to 155. At 175, I'm waking up at 175 every day, so I'm fine. Whatever. At 170, I can just not train and fuck off. He's like, but if I put more into it at 155, let's do it. Let's have a couple more fights. I probably won't take 20 a year anymore. I'm going to take that down a little bit.
20 a year.
But he's definitely wants to go back to 155 where he says he feels focused. At 170, he just doesn't care.
There's only 52 weeks a year, Donald.
I would like to say that if you Google Canadian fighter green hair, you get jets.
How do you know he's Canadian?
Because he is. Jonathan Goulet.
Goulet.
Jonathan Goulet.
Hey, is he
I like-
remember? Hey, is he with old
Wasn't he
Bobby,
the Road Warrior?
Mr.
That was
Robert
his nickname,
Goulet?
right? The Road
Yeah, I
Warrior.
think so. Knocked out every fucking time. It was like GSP's sacrifice to the MMA gods to guarantee that he would win that night.
So he was like a can, like a green bean can.
He was the
I remember
first.
Dwayne Bang Ludwig knocked him out, and he's the one he set the record against.
Yeah.
Yeah, he set the knockout record from knocking that guy out.
Poor
He just
bastard.
went face first, and then they called the fight, and he sits up, and he's like, "Fuck." Like he just
Again.
got hit once and just went.
Son of a
Just
bitch.
drug his face across,
That's what
and
it
then
was.
sat up and was like,
He was literally GSP's mana. He would have to bring that guy to sacrifice him to the MMA guys every fucking time. Fucking Goulet. Look that shit up. But don't Google Canadian fighter with green hair because you get a jet first for some fucking reason.
Mark Hunt was obviously having issues getting fights because Dana White and the UFC were concerned about his his
Something wrong with his medulla
health.
oblongata.
Medulla oblongata.
He has had a full medical analysis at the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health in Las Vegas.
Did they find out he had all those teeth and no toothbrush?
No, they said he's
UFC
crazy as
confirms
fuck.
that he is now been cleared to compete, and he is ready to return to the octagon. His manager says they want a rematch against Fabricio Verdum, UFC 221 February in Perth, Australia. We don't know if that's actually going to happen.
So does Dana have to pay him for the fight that he pulled him off of now?
That's probably still in court.
That'll probably be added to the suit.
added to,
Yeah.
to the lawsuit.
And this is just another thing.
And then I like it.
So, I mean, would you like to see him come back? Would you like to see him come back and have a rematch with Fabricio?
Fuck, why not?
If they legitimately cleared him, I don't mind seeing him fight. But if he went to somebody and they just were like, okay,
No. He went to the brain institute that the UFC wanted him to go to, which they claim is the best brain institute in the world.
Because
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
I don't want to get in anybody's career, but knowing like the NFL people that we've seen kill themselves and basically run themselves into a hole, I don't want to see somebody fight themselves to death.
Of course not.
You know,
But I think we've already seen that, unfortunately.
I think we're seeing it. I think there's a couple fighters that are.
There's a couple fighters that are no longer fighting that I think fought too long, and I think we
I
all
mean,
know
Garrett
what we're
Goodrich should automatically tell you he's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Chuck Liddell's another one of them.
Wrestling,
so?
Yep.
wrestling is, I mean, really, pulled at your heartstrings over the years of wrestlers who just hung in too long, doing too much.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't know if you're the one who posted. Somebody posted how many have died in the last 10 years, and like none of them is like normal death.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
You're going to go out, man. Go out with a bang.
I guess.
George
Do
St.
not go quietly into night, man.
Hang or a hang.
George St. Pierre,
Oh,
after
man.
his win over Michael Bisping, getting the 185-pound title, said, "From the beginning, I will not hold the division down." Well, he has had a record-breaking 31-day reign and has dropped the belt.
Right.
He said he will no longer hold the belt at 185. Now he's getting.
Step up, McGregor. Fucking hand your belt in too.
He's had
Step
a
up,
lot of
McGregor.
A lot
Wait,
of criticism
hold on. This
about
isn't the
this.
Senate.
He's had a lot
I'm
of
stepping down. You step down, too.
Yeah, step down.
He's had a lot of criticism about this. Now, a lot of the fighters are actually giving him respect for this. They're saying, good for him. He's not holding up a division. If only all the champions were going to be doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Where a lot of the fans are upset, Dana White being one of them. He's really upset. Now,
Fucker took me for $2 million.
basically what it comes down to is George St. Pierre said that he has colitis.
Colitis, right.
Which is a basically like ulcers and issues in his colon, and he putting on the weight to get there to be 185 was the hardest thing for him to do, and that he just cannot do it anymore.
Here's the thing, though.
And he said because he was doing it naturally, unlike some of these other guys where we don't know.
He wanted to come in and just show the UFC that they had a paper champ at 185 and then fucking walk out. That was his goal. Oh, who's the champ? No, he's not. Let me show you that he's not.
Let me
And then
show
I'm
you
gonna
that he's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show you how fake your standings
Dana
are.
White
Yeah,
said.
like, that's exactly it.
First of all, St. Pierre said that in the beginning he's been non-committal about his next step. Immediately after he won the belt, he said his body struggled to maintain the extra weight required to compete at 185, that he suffered very severe cramps and other illnesses due to the camp, due to the issues. He said his system seemed to be shutting down on him by the day fight rolled around. He was only able to rehydrate to 190, where he was normally able to rehydrate to 198.
Dude, I wish that my body would shut me down at 185. Fuck, man. 25 pounds ago, my body should have said, nope.
I'm just going to say, Joey,
Now-
do you realize how much of your life you would lose?
If I got down to
If
one,
you shut, no, I'm just saying if your money shut down at 185, he's like, "What happened to Joey?" He's like, "Oh, he hit the well,
Hit his limit.
Hit his limit.
he was way overdue for his
Got into
limit.
high school.
Dana White
Hey,
says about him vacating the belt. This was before he actually made the belt. There was rumors that he was going to have it. He says, "I don't want to hear that. It's not what I want to hear. I want to hear that he's going to defend his 185-pound title. That's the agreement we made. That's the deal that when we made the deal."
Hey,
I'm going to be pissed if that's what happens.
hey,
He says,
contracts are written and contracts are broken.
he says,
I
I,
was
will
not
be
impressed with my
super pissed if
performance."
St. Pierre drops the title. I don't know where we go from there. Go to 170. Who's better to fight at 170? I guess you got Tyron Woodley and you got Wonder Boy. But you over here, you've got Yo Romero, you've got Luke Rockhold. Fucking monsters. They're all monsters.
Then you shouldn't be worried about.
He
the
said,
185
"Oh,
division.
maybe this is a fight for me to take." You looked at Bisping and was like, "This is a tune-up." Well, you got your tune-up fight. There's nothing but fucking animals at 185. He's like, "You're a fighter. Get in there and see what who you can fucking beat. You're wanted to fucking come back. Welcome back. It's ugly. You can't handpick
Whatever.
people."
So Dana hard-boiled his own egg at this
Yeah.
announcement.
Fucking George is like, Dana, you're not the boss of me. Not even a little
He
bit.
says that's the language in the contract. It's in the contract. He says, "I'll tell you what. You want to come back in and take this title shot against Bisping. I'm cool with it, but you've got to defend the title. You cannot drop it afterwards. You have to be the man. You have to beat the man. And then when the man just goes away, listen. If the guy wants to go on a run and is undefeated and wants to retire, fine. And if the guy retires the belt, that's fine. But to go in there and drop this one and then now drop to 170, I don't like it.
Do you think?
Whatever.
Do you?
I
Think,
mean, how do you guys feel about it? As
I
fans,
think
I have
the
people
days
that
are
have
numbered.
gone back and forth between.
I
it,
think
and
the days are numbered of Dana White being the mouthpiece of the UFC.
I don't think so at all. I
I think they love
agree
it.
with that.
They love
Yeah,
the controversy.
They love it. It's he's the Vince McMahon. He gets people excited about the UFC. They don't even know what the UFC is. I saw this debate online. They show up in a country for the first time. People want to be there because Dana White's already made it bigger than life. They're not going to get rid of him as the spokesperson. But the whole thing about him telling fighters what to do with their bodies, we don't live in that kind of culture, Dana. We can't do that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I mean, to me, again, if he's actually having these health issues, that was always been number one, right? That's always been the number one concern. That's why they stopped fucking Mark Hunt from fighting.
Well,
it's a health
obviously-
concern. I don't care if he wants
Yeah.
to fight. It's a health concern.
Well,
So
isn't
now
he-
he has colitis, and you're like, except for his health. His health's
Yeah,
fine.
but isn't it the same guy who said I've had conversations with GSP and the things he's told me?
I don't think he should fight anymore.
I don't think he should fight.
Yeah.
anymore. This is the same guy.
Same guy. Yeah, we all know Dana's a hypocrite. Don't trust his lies. Never
So-
trust his lies.
Are you?
what I said.
How about this?
No, it's not.
No, it's
yes, it is. No, it's not.
Are you okay with GSP dropping the belt?
Yeah.
If GSP never comes back, I'm not even mad about it.
Are you?
He came in. He got his $2 million.
Are you upset that
He took the belt from a guy who can't see straight
I would say, are you
and
upset?
fucking dropped the mic.
You got fans that are upset that say, "Well, he should have never taken that fight." He
Well, I don't give a
he should
fuck
have
about
never
the fans anymore.
He should never have come back and taken a title fight.
No,
you know what?
I
The
don't
whole
agree with that at
fan
all.
base is turned on everybody. They support McNugget. That's like, oh, there's no other big fights now. The McGregor's gone. Fuck you. There's 45 other fucking people fighting. Badass fighters. People who'll defend a belt. People who'll show up and fucking fight.
There was a thing
in
on-
an MMA ring.
You're going to tell me that Nagano's not somebody to watch? Give me a break here.
on Facebook, just recently, there was somebody that posted a picture of we have Tony Ferguson is having surgery on his elbow, and they go, "Oh, well, he's going to be out for an unknown amount."
He just fucking fought in October.
We should put an interim belt out there right now. And I'm like, first of all, you can't have an interim of an interim belt. Number one.
Dana would do it.
Number two, Tony actually wants to defend his title, unlike the guy who's sitting in the same division with a belt. Conor does not want to defend his title.
Right.
All he wants is money. That's all he cares about. He said that.
But Ferguson, when he comes back, he's got to fight Verdum anyway.
Verdum.
So he needs to rest up for that fight.
I'm okay with George St. Pierre going back down to 170. Does he get an immediate title shot? Probably not because of this bullshit. But I'm okay with him working through the division.
And I think it's funny. I think the fans are upset about it because he basically came back and like you said, proved that the division's bullshit.
Yeah,
Your
right.
whole division's bullshit. I took 4 years off, came back, knocked out your champ.
And made it look
left.
easy.
Yeah. I think he needs to take the time off, bulk up, and then be the alternate in the fucking Bellator tournament.
He can't even get over 185. Didn't you hear him? He's
Yeah.
having trouble putting
But
on weight.
He doesn't have to be. Rory McDonald's
Yeah,
an alternate
Rory's
too.
doing it at 170. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
See, it sounds funny when we say it, but this shit's really happening,
this
people.
thing's a real thing.
This is real. I mean, did you not hear? Pacquiao, a guy who gave Mayweather a run for his money, is going to get scheduled to fight McGregor, who landed 9 shots in 3 fucking rounds.
So, in the meantime, however, they have announced
We can't make it up, dude.
that Bobby Knuckles Whitaker is going to be defending his belt which has now been
Against Rockhold?
Against Rockhold, which has automatically been promoted as the undisputed title.
I like it.
I'm okay with that.
I like that fight. It's a great fight. Those are two amazing fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm with a lot of fans that say that GSP really isn't a belt holder, that this guy's been the true belt holder.
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will give him credit that he came in, showed the division is bullshit. Give him the distinction that he's the guy that's held 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. Cool.
Right.
Put it on the record book. Let him move on.
Right. Yeah, I think like he basically said he was all Bisping won't give up the belt. Give me the belt. There, I gave it up. Whitaker, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
This is what should have happened from the beginning.
Congratulations. You're now
Yeah.
undisputed.
Ultimate Fighter 26 finale went down last week.
Yes, it did. Yes, indeedy.
We can go over you want to go over the main? You want to do everything?
The main, I guess. With
Well, first of all, we do have to mention that Rich Trias' girlfriend, Rachel Ostrovich-Burden, did defeat Korean Gavorian. Otherwise, he'd be upset. You know,
And she's looking less like a man these days.
I don't want Hulk to go smashy. So that's fine.
But I have to knock him down a peg because he says he doesn't like reggae music. So
What?
yeah, it's all the same music. I just can't get into it.
Oh, what is it? Well, it says he liked metal.
We don't know what Rich likes. Rich likes Rachel. That's all we know.
That's all we know.
You know, Rich likes women.
So
Mostly.
we'll kick off the main card here.
I don't want to fight him.
98%, just 98%. That's what he likes. 98% women. It's like fat-free milk. Brett Johns got a calf slasher over Joe Soto.
Dude, in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. It was ridiculous to watch. It was a very cool thing to see. Deanna Bennett got a win.
Does that actually
decision.
hurt your calf, or it actually
Fuck yeah.
separates your
yeah, it
knee,
hurts.
right?
Oh.
It
It's
separates
both.
your knee.
It's your entire leg
Ouch.
from the knee down.
It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. It's not fun.
Would you show me real quick on Joey?
I don't know how to properly do it. I'll put you in the figure 4 though. I can do that.
Do a fucking lion tamer. We've seen that happen.
It's happened.
We've seen it happen in the cage. Gerald Mershart. Mershart it again. Got a TKO over Eric Spicey. Sorry, Deanna Bennett got a majority decision over Melinda Fabian as well. Lauren Murphy with a win over split decision over Barb Onshot.
This was close.
It was a good fight though.
Well, now
This was so close that DC said, "Listen here, Barb Murphy,
Yeah. Congratulations, Barb Murphy. You won this fight.
you really kicked the shit out of Lauren Honchak."
Now we know what happened to Barb on Stranger Things. Sean O'Malley got a unanimous decision over Terrion Ware.
Went and smoked weed with Stu Bog afterwards, I'm assuming.
Oh, it was getting close though. This wasn't a walk in the park like he thought it was
Nope.
going to be.
And our favorite happy little almost UFC warrior, Rex Amadofri, fell to Nico Montano in a unanimous decision
Who
as
is
well.
now your flyweight women's champion.
But they all got contracts, right?
A lot of them did. So the UFC
Like
released...
Denzel Washington, and he's like, all y'all motherfuckers catching cases. Y'all caught cases.
Yeah, all of you.
All y'all,
All y'all.
The UFC has released... So you can see that. I know you're
holy
blind.
smokes! Josh, you need to throw that up.
It's the women's.
Oh, you
They put
deleted it
rankings
already?
in there?
They added the
Make it big.
rankings. They added the rankings after the show was done, and after we have a champion, you do now have the women's flyweight rankings.
So Barb, the girl who lost, is number 4, huh?
If you'll notice the NRs next to all of them, those are girls who have never been ranked before because they didn't have a division.
I like it.
So we do have obviously
Not rated or not ranked?
not ranked.
No rating.
Nika Montano is your champion, so she is obviously number 1, or excuse me, not the number 1 contender, but the number 1 at the top of the division champ. Eubanks, who is supposed to fight on this card but could not make weight, is number 1.
Still your number 1.
Is still your number 1, even though she failed to make weight twice on the show, made weight against Roxanne, and then failed to make weight again, was having kidney failure.
Can't they make her 11 or 12 in the 135?
Right?
Should.
Like, just, she needs to pick, definitely not 115, but she needs to go up to 135.
135. Because
Yeah.
there's going to be at least 5 girls in the 135 that come down to 125.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
straight
dude,
places.
Liz Carmouche at 125. She's thick, but if she can get down to 125, those chicks are in trouble, bro.
It's going to be scary, some of these girls. I think Sarah McMahon is talking about going down to 125.
Oh, that would be interesting.
And she's an Olympic wrestler, remember.
Yeah.
I think it'd be definitely interesting. Beck Rawlings, after her loss last week, she is still on the ranking. She's in the top 15.
I think she's going to walk away.
You think so?
Either that or you're going to see her like an Invicta or something.
Go back to Invicta.
Her, and even though Felice won. Oh, I mean, I know we're not talking about it yet.
We'll get it to a second. Yeah.
But Felice is 4 in a row, though.
Yeah, but it was.
She wants a title shot now.
Fuck. I'll give her a title.
Bellator 189, Bud versus Blencow 2.
Wait.
took place.
Am I missing? No, there it is. Yeah. All right, there we go. Sorry.
Are we good?
Yeah, slides are out of order.
They were at the World Star Hip Hop Casino.
World Star Hip Hop.
Doug Rose. Doug Rose. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. David Ricketts gets a win. Unanimous decision. Rickles over Adam
hockey puck.
Piccolotti. Chidi Nukwani over Hisaki Kato with a decision. Rafael Lovato Jr. over Chris Honeycutt with, again, a unanimous decision. Julia Budd gets a split over Arlene Blankow.
And remains champion.
Remains champion.
Yep, at featherweight there in Bellator.
Splitting hairs to keep that belt. And that was last week. This week we got... Oh, that's right. We have UFC 218 to go over.
We're all out of order. Motherfucker.
Who set these up?
Josh. You rearranged them when I gave them to you. This was UFC 218, the big pay-per-view that happened last week.
I didn't get a nap today. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
You want to start off there at the Fight Pass?
Parenting shit. Yeah, Justin Willis. Talking about Willis. Got a KO in the first round over Alan Crowder. 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Good for Justin Willis. Dominic Reyes gets a rear naked choke in the first round over Jeremy Kimball. And then you have Abdul Razak Al Hassan gets a TKO in the first round over Sabah Hamasi. And Amanda Cooper TKO over Angela Magana. That's a great Fight Pass card right there.
Magana, number one, had a wardrobe malfunction where they had to stop the fight because her boob was hanging out.
So this is the second one that we've had recently, huh?
Second one that we've had recently.
Do you want me to throw that up?
It's blurred.
We got it. It's all right. It's blurred.
Boobies.
Yeah, so they had to stop the fight mid fight, and they were like, the ref's so funny. The ref's like tapped, like, hey, you gotta do something about that.
Even I'm gonna tell you this though.
Even though
Fooly, bro.
Even though
Fooly.
we've seen all of Magna on the internet,
Yeah.
her shit got released, and then she was releasing it herself. Like,
You know, here's my take.
Even
on
with the
this.
tit hanging out, I was still focused on Cooper.
And that's my thing. Is like, okay, this is a fight. We know these are going to happen. It should be on Fox for one if they're showing it, which they weren't. It was Fight Pass.
It's on Fight Pass.
Should be, but if say it's on regular TV, it should be on that network to handle the blurring and the editing and whatever needs to be done. These people are fighting. You're going to stop and put it in their head that their tits hanging out. Like that's a mental block right there. Like I don't think, and this has nothing to do with sexualizing a tit. Just like it's a tit. It's a piece of fucking anatomy. Get
It's
over
Magana.
it.
No one's sexualizing anything.
Guys fight with their tits out all the time.
do we need to readdress? Obviously, does
Have we ever had a nut hang out?
No?
Or Dennis
Fist
Hallman.
out, tits out.
Fist out, tits out.
Actually, yeah, Dennis Hallman.
Dennis Hallman.
Yeah,
Dennis
he did
Hallman?
have to like
His
scoop
whole-
it back into his
whole
thing.
nuts
Yeah.
slung out. Okay.
Yeah.
They call that the pendulum.
Does Reebok need to do something about the wardrobe for the girls?
Well, they have options. I mean, Felice Herrig doesn't have this issue because she wears the full shirt.
Right. Or why don't we just give them sports bras instead of just wearing a tank top?
It's up to the fighter in the wardrobe.
Pasties.
They do. They
There we
have. They
go.
have several options to choose from. These girls are picking
Yeah,
what they're
it's-
comfortable in.
it's up to them what
if
they
a
wanna
tit
do.
pops out, then we shouldn't make a big deal of it. We should just move on.
Yeah.
It's like Nipplegate with Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Who the fuck hasn't seen a
Yeah.
tit?
Because I mean,
I didn't want my
real-
children to see tits. How did they eat when they were babies? What the fuck?
No.
Formula only.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be as easy as a rash guard, like a tube top that goes
Yep.
under everything. You know,
I mean, if you want to go that far, I don't even know if that's necessary. Let's just stop worrying about tits.
I think we need to just completely cut Reebok from doing wardrobe and just let's do. I mean, Adidas needs to be out there or Nike. You know,
I
somebody else.
want it. I want to
Dave
see people
Madden-
fighting in
Dave Madden?
tracksuits. That's what I want.
Dave Madden had a Twitter going out and said and he asked Reebok how many retweets we got to get for you to quit being a sponsor of the UFC, and they said 10,000, and he was like, "Let's get it done." 10,000 retweets. I think he's up to like 2,000 or 3,000.
I said this should be easy. How do we not have 10,000 already? Go retweet that shit.
Yeah,
Some people are scared.
I'll retweet it all day.
They don't want Reebok coming in and shut down their stuff.
Wait, is the Reebok Mafia going to come get you?
And then on your Fox Sports
They're
One,
after McGregor, haven't you heard?
Well, I'd be more worried about Fila. I hear they got some serious ties.
it's all about FUBU.
Fubu
For us, by us.
Yeah, I'm scared of the FUPA Mafia.
Fupa Mafia.
Yeah,
Your undercard on
smacking you with some Fromunda or something.
Fox Sports One started off with Felice Herrig defeating Courtney Casey.
Good old Felice Herrig gets a split decision win, her fourth in a row over Courtney Casey. David.
Oh, by the way, Magna asked for a rematch. The UFC said no, and by the way, your contract's up, so you're let go.
Yeah,
So back to Invicta with you.
We don't know where
Maybe.
she's gonna go.
maybe.
Or Bellator.
But yeah,
She's
Felice,
gonna go
did you
fight
feel like
Gabby
Felice won that
Garcia
fight?
and Risen. When they started flipping each other off and not doing anything,
And then not doing anything?
That was dumb, but I think she did enough to win, honestly. I really do. David Teemer up against Jakar Noir. Unanimous decision there. Yancy Medeiros gets a TKO over Alex Oliveira.
after they beat the shit out of each other.
Hell out of each other, man.
Good 3-round fight there. Paul Felder also beats up Dubronx. TKO in the second round. Moving on to your main card, the pay-per-view itself. Tisha Torres kicks it off up against Michelle Karate Hottie Watterson. Gets a unanimous decision in favor of Tisha. Eddie Alvarez and Justin Gaethje. Some violent men here.
Wins the most violent man award.
Yeah.
Right?
But he
Yeah,
went
what
with
happened? They still haven't reported what happened to his
He
face.
broke
have
his
they?
cheek. That's a broken cheek.
Yeah, I don't know. Alvarez's cheek looked weird.
It was a broken cheek.
I was wondering if it was
Super
teeth
puffy
and
on
gum.
this side.
Broke his cheek.
Yeah.
He's becoming a who?
He's becoming a who?
Yeah, or the Whoville.
Cindy Lou.
Like, it just looked pretty bad. These guys swung for the fences, and I don't understand. Watching this fight going back and forth, Justin Gaethje was chopping down Eddie Alvarez with fucking leg kicks.
But I
Like,
think it was
enough
also-
where he was like spinning
Right.
down and barely able to
But he
pop
hurt
up.
his foot, too.
But he was
Did
hurt.
he?
He was hurting his own foot by doing that.
So then he wasn't kicking properly.
Well,
he
well,
threw-
it's
he
also
threw a
how they're
kick.
getting checked too.
Yeah,
he threw
but
a
it
kick.
didn't look like Eddie was checking any of them till like the second round, maybe the third.
But did you hear what he said? He was like, it was really starting to irritate me. So like, if this was a 5-round, then I would have had to finish it in the third. So in my head, I'm almost hearing like, so you weren't trying for the finish?
He
I
should have
mean,
been leg kick. I mean, there was points where I was like, oh, they're gonna stop. Eddie can't stand.
But did you
Eddie
feel-
can't stand.
But he landed a kick with the top of his foot on some part of Eddie's leg to where it made his leg buckle a little bit. And
Gotcha.
he was pulling his kicks after that, I think.
The way he was
Okay.
beating up his body, do you
Yeah, I
feel
was
like
saying, Eddie Alvarez-
he was trying to send a message?
Eddie Alvarez definitely turned the tide on him and just hit him with vicious body shots
Yeah.
and shut him down by probably the mid-second, where he was just
Right.
like, I'm just going to keep
Oh, he's-
going because
yeah.
I'm Justin Gaethje, but there's...
But he was open mouth breathing.
Yeah.
He was having trouble when he sat down.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
This happened a lot sooner than we expected. We expected him to go on pummeling through people for a while before he got dropped. But
But I mean, and then Eddie Alvarez now says, you know what? I'm back to fighting the way I should have been fighting. I'm not going for titles. I'm not going for money. I'm just going to go for interesting fights.
going for violence.
Yeah,
and
just
next
want
time you fight
violent fights.
McGregor, don't circle right. You worked on that for fucking 9 weeks, and the first thing you did against McGregor was circle right and tried to box him.
What did they say not to do? Circle left. That's right.
Got it.
Got it. And the most electric man in sports entertainment, Henry Cejudo, took on Sergio Pettis and got himself a unanimous decision. This is your get a beer fight.
Just wrestle.
I don't even remember. I honestly don't remember this.
Because you
fight.
were getting a beer. Francis Ngannou killed Alistair Overeem.
Jesus, turn him into a Pez dispenser.
Rest in pieces.
Freaking mouthpiece flew out like a.
This was Rock'em Sock'em Robots in real life. Like his head went all the way back. Someone had to go back and like push it.
I like how he was setting up for this punch the whole time.
He was-
Gauging.
Yeah.
He's in there.
And Overeem was doing well, fighting at the distance and keeping him like he was doing well. And then it's like, hey, guess what? Let's get in this phone booth together and just kind of do this. Got fucking knocked the fuck
Yeah, he
out.
looked great till he got knocked out.
Overeem woken up speaking a different language he never even learned.
He was
Yeah.
too. His body was like,
All of a sudden, he's fluent in Korean.
Looked like his toes
know
were
how.
knitting some shit.
Well, because once he got him down, he finished it on.
He hit some one punch.
Didn't even
The
need
ref-
to. He was
the ref
dead.
was like running, like I shouldn't have been far away.
What was I thinking? These men murder people for a living.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, so
It was brutal.
Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic is already a thing for UFC 220.
Yeah.
Hashtag pray for Stipe is on Twitter. It's trending.
And you know, Stipe's camp's like, we're not worried. We're never going to be worried. It's not a big deal. And me and
Stipe's
Dennis,
like, I gotta fucking fight that.
me and Dennis were talking about before, like, I'm pretty sure Junior Dos Santos and Overeem both wobbled Stipe in their fights. Of course, they did lose those fights, but they got wobbled.
Yeah, I don't think you can suffer just a wobbling hit from Nagano.
No,
The guy went on record for the hardest punch. It's like getting hit by a 92-mile-an-hour car crash.
The fact that he can punch harder than Shane Carwin scares the crap
Yeah,
out
it's
of me.
all.
Because Shane Carwin at the time that he was fighting was like the hardest puncher available.
Yeah.
And the fact that it doesn't look slow.
No.
Like Steve hits hard, but it doesn't look that fast. Nagano's is like, it's going mock, dude. It hit Overeem and then we heard it.
He broke the sound barrier.
Yeah.
I see.
It was all.
Like I said, my favorite was immediately was like, hey, you want to see a dead body?
I see Stipe going for an ankle and never letting go of it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You just push him up against the wall.
Just hold him.
Just hey, stop, don't.
No, he's going to be laying down on the mat, just holding on to the ankle. Please, no, don't hit me. Max Holloway retains his belt over Jose Aldo with a third-round TKO.
In no time, at any time, was he in any danger of this fight.
Nope, he manhandled him the entire time.
I will say, Jose Aldo did hit him with some leg kicks where I was like, okay,
No.
all right.
Last time, I was worried. Max put himself out there. This time, and at no time did it looks like Max was like worried. Every time he went sit down, he's like, "Yep, everything's going right. Yep, yep." He looked like Mayweather. Every time Mayweather went sit down, "Yep, we're exactly where we need to be, Dad."
Jose
Can
Aldo,
I beat him up now? No, we're holding out for the 8.
One more round.
Max Holloway says, we should have statues of Jose Aldo in the featherweight wing.
That's
like,
called humbleness, McGregor.
that he's still top guy. Where do you see Jose Aldo going from here?
Back to Brazil.
No, dude,
And?
he's 31.
Do you think he's done?
No, I don't think he's done. I think he'll fight on Brazil cards. He's going to be one of those guys that they call in for Brazil cards, and that's it.
Like Vitor and Anderson and
Absolutely. That's where he
Damian
goes.
Maia and-
He's going to be the
Paulo Fijo,
who's the Canadian that only fights on Canada cards.
Patrick Cote.
Patrick Cote. He's going to be the Patrick Cote. He's going to be the hippo in Australia.
Peroche.
I think that's what he's going to be because he's the Brazilian people absolutely love him. I don't see, like I said last week, I don't see him getting gold again. But he can sell tickets down in Brazil like a motherfucker.
No, I would like him to stay in the top 5, and when people come up through with a full head of steam, I would like him to be the guy who's like, no, you're not ready yet.
He can do that in Brazil.
Okay. You're going to make these guys who want to climb go to Brazil.
Go to Brazil.
You beat Aldo, then you could come back.
That's how it works in Street Fighter, right?
He's like, how come I'm not in the top 5 yet? Have you been to Brazil? Have you fought Aldo? No. Shut the fuck up.
Until that happens.
Watch out for his lightning attack.
Yeah. I actually, now that I think about it, it's right. It is like the Street Fighter. I got to go to Italy. I got to fight this motherfucker. I got to go to Japan. I got to go fight this guy.
Fucking E Honda.
Yeah.
Then you got to go back to Japan and fight Chun Li. Like I was just here, motherfucker. What kind of
China. She's from China.
Oh, is that what it was?
God.
I thought they were two from
Racist.
the same country.
Freaking oh, because
Chun-Li
they're.
is a Chinese name, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, you fucking
Ryu.
expert over there.
Ryu fought in Japan, so did E Honda.
There's obviously some science behind
Ken and Guile were from the U.S.
Ken and Gal. Okay.
All right.
Sagat was from Thailand.
Still, it's like I was just here. I got to go back here. Damn.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Bellator 190 is going down tomorrow.
So we're not going to do Invicta first, or we're not doing Invicta?
I mean, I can, but I'm just trying to go on the slides, man. I have the slides all mixed
All right,
up.
fine. Let's
Back to
do it. Go.
Invicta. Back to Invicta.
Damn it. Damn it.
Invicta is tonight on Fight Pass.
I'm not saying that fucking name, dude. There's no way.
You're gonna try. So Eric can't make fun of me. He can make fun of you.
All right, fine.
Like anybody cares about Eric. You see how small his arms are in the new studio? They were using some weird lens in the old studio. He looked big. Now he's in that new studio. He's got a little tiny arms.
I like that he tries to convince us he only wears a large shirt.
Oh, I'm sure he wears a large shirt. I don't have any doubt there. Okay, so Kay Hansen going up against Emily Price. You also got Karina Rodriguez taking on Christine Ferreira. Is that, yeah?
Yep.
Sure, fuck it, why not? Amber Brown up against Tessa Simpson. Amy Montenegro.
By the way, yeah, these next 4 fights, 4 chicks didn't make fucking weight.
And Mackenzie Dern wasn't one of them. I lost that bet.
Yeah, you did lose that bet.
I lost that bet.
Inappropriate joke coming in 3, 2. They're all in the same cycle. Amber Brown up against Tessa Simpson.
Wow. Al Franken in the studio, everybody. Al Franken.
Don't care.
Is that a quadsicle?
Quadsicle.
Amy Montenegro going
A
up
lot of
against
chocolate. We're going to have to
Verna
give away. A lot of chocolate.
Jandaroba. Vanessa Porto takes on Milana Dudieva.
That's Hagen Brawls.
Yeah, I like it. Is that Kimberly?
Kimberly.
All right. Noveas taking on Janissa Morandin. And then Mackenzie Dern going up
Making
against...
her strawweight debut.
Making
Making her MMA debut.
Making her made weight debut.
No, there's not. She's fought MMA before, right?
Where she made weight?
Oh, no.
Oh, this is,
Okay.
This is her made weight debut.
Yeah.
Made
her
weight
MMA made weight debut.
Going up against Colleen Medeiros. And then Jennifer Maya taking on Agnieszka Needsweeds.
Nidesweeds?
No, I'm going with
Needs
Needsweeds.
whites?
I like,
Dude,
I like
that is
Needsweeds.
totally out of Dr. Seuss.
Agnieszka Needsweets.
That's like the nurse was filling out
Used
the...
to need sweets.
The
I'm a
nurse
need
is filling out
sweets,
the
we're all
birth
a need
certificate and
sweets.
tripped. Shit. I fucking scribbled on it. That's your name.
Welcome Welcome to America.
Mr. Smith.
Bellator going down tomorrow.
Yes, this is going to be happening.
Possibly today because it's Italy.
Is it Italy? Oh, then it's definitely happening.
Guess who's going to be on that card?
My man.
Your man.
All right, so
Mega?
yeah,
He's from
Mega.
Spain,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
God, nobody knows Street Fighter anymore.
No. What year is it? Is it fucking 1993?
I'm trying to buy a championship edition for the studio, and I can't even justify doing it now because nobody knows who they are.
The desktop one?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No.
Full cabinet. He has
Full
the full cabinet.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I like it. Mihail Nika taking on Carlos Miranda. Lena Ovichnikova
Yeah.
taking on Alejandra Lara. Then Brandon Geertz taking on Luka Jelchik.
Oh my Gertz.
And then Rafael Carvalho taking on Alessio Sakara, the guy who suffered the worst nut shot I think I've ever seen.
They had to stop the fight.
They carried him out on a fucking stretcher. On a stretcher, man. His nut was caught between his cup and his thigh, and somebody kicked him full fucking bore. Like, I think it popped.
Like a gusher?
Like a gusher. Like a gusher. Oh. Fucking Rocky Mountain oyster right in your mouth.
Oh, no.
Also on the same card, we have Bellator Kickboxing 8.
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah, double.
I'm not reading that.
All right, well, you can check. Joe Schilling's going to be on that card, so check him out because Joe Schilling's awesome.
Joe Schilling is awesome.
And John Wayne Parr.
Don't you know
There's a lot of hands in MMA that are directly responsible from Joe Schilling.
And John Wayne Parr
Yeah.
is going to be on this card, which
What?
is fucking awesome.
What?
Yeah.
He's gonna kill somebody.
Yep. I feel
Pilgrim.
bad for that Italian guy.
He's going to come out and say,
Is there
Pilgrim?
really somebody named Mustafa?
Yeah,
Mustafa?
Yeah.
He's a champ.
Yeah.
And then we have UFC
Fight Night.
123,
UFC
Fight Night
Fight Night
123. There was one fight on here that the Athletic Commission actually moved. These guys were supposed to be fighting at flyweight, and California State
So it was
Athletic
only
Commission
only
said,
ended up being one. Weren't they trying to change the weight class to 3 fights?
only one ended up having. Yeah, 3 were in jeopardy, and by the time they were getting ready to do weigh-ins, this is the last one. And they said
okay.
you're no longer going to fight at flyweight. You're going to fight at bantamweight because the guy missed weight by 5 pounds.
Because the way the headline went out the first time, it was like, okay, they're gonna do the new weight classes starting now, and I was just like, oh shit, they're making them weigh in that day.
No,
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was
They have
like
to
whatever
be
you
with-
weigh in that day, that's your weight class.
they have to be within 10%.
You can't train for your opponent at all.
No, I know. That's
to
what
be-
I was saying.
Be within 10%.
It's
So.
like when I fought at the Tuesday Night Fights, the fat cat. He just showed up and it was like, how much do you weigh? All right, you're going to fight that dude over there.
Because he's about the
He's
same.
about the same. So it didn't matter what weight you showed up at.
They didn't actually weigh you guys. They just hung you on a level.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
No, they're close. They're
Put
close.
2 beers in his hand. All right, there you go.
He's good. He's good.
They're equal.
Take off your
Literally-
jacket. What are you doing?
100%. All right, you go up into the red room. There's plenty of beer for you guys. Before we fight, yeah, why not?
All right. There you go.
Fair enough.
Kicking off your prelims on Fight Pass, you have Antonio Braga Neto taking on Trevin Giles. You also have Chris Gutzmacher taking on Davi Ramos. How do I get Gutzmacher right? Alejandro Perez taking on Lurie Alcantara as well. And then jumping on to Fox Sports 1 here, Frankie Sands taking on Marab Dashvili. I'm sure. Carl's John Day Thomas, yeah, taking on Alex Perez. Luke Sanders up against Andre Sukamalhath. And then Alexis Davis back again. She's fighting Liz Carmucci
At flyweight.
at flyweight.
Oh,
Both these girls are going in at flyweight, but they're not ranked yet because they hadn't had a fight.
okay. I'm just telling you, dude.
I think no matter who wins, they're both going to be in the top 15.
Well, Carmucci's gonna win this fight.
Well, Alexis Davis, she came back after her kid and lost that fight she came back
know.
from, right?
Yeah.
And Carmucci's just a beast.
Jumping on your main card here, still on Fox Sports 1, Albert Morales taking on Benito Lopez, Eric Anders taking on Marcus Perez, Scott Holtzman taking on Daryl Horcher, Marlon Moraes taking on Aljamain Sterling. Looking
like
forward
that
to
fight.
that one.
I like that fight.
Aljamain Sterling is always fun to watch. Jason Knight takes on Gabriel Benitez.
Benitez is not ranked, and he goes, I just want to take his ranking because nobody knows who I am. So if I beat him, I just want his ranking spot.
That's all I want. I just want a number next to my name that's not my weight. And then you have your main event, Cub Swanson taking on Brian Ortega.
I think this is a bad matchup for Cub. I didn't realize.
Yeah?
I think Ortega's got quite the reach on him. I think he's taller than him.
Let's see here.
I think if Cub gets this win, then he should probably beat
Brian
him.
Ortega's 5'8". Cub Swanson is 5'7".
Oh, it's only.
Oh,
an
wait,
inch.
but Cubs got a 70-inch reach. No, yeah, it's about virtually identical.
Virtually identical. I think if Cub wins this, though, he's pretty close to getting that gold.
Should get that title shot. Should for sure.
And that's going down tomorrow night as well, so make sure you check it out. Got Bellator and UFC happening on the same evening tonight. Invicta, if you get the opportunity to watch it. Plenty of fights going around. Tune in and enjoy. Big thanks to our sponsors, MyMMAnews.com, as well as Dependable Solutions. Innovate your business. If you're taking credit cards and you want a better rate, or if you don't take credit cards yet and you want to start, contact Dependable Solutions and they will get you taken care of. Aside from that, check us out online at SplitDecisionMMA.com, Split Decision MMA Podcast on Facebook, SD_MMA on Twitter and Instagram, and of course follow us on iHeartRadio as well. From the SinCal studios, it's Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.